It's late. You're sitting on the couch, maybe reading, maybe scrolling. There are three other people in the house. Your cat walks past all of them. She doesn't stop, doesn't look, just walks, directly, deliberately, and jumps into your lap. And nobody in the room is surprised because she always does this. She always picks you. Most people think they know why. You feed her. You've had her the longest. She just likes your energy. People have a dozen explanations, and they all feel reasonable. But animal behaviorists have studied this exact behavior in controlled settings, and what they found changes everything you think you understand about your cat's inner life. What your cat just did wasn't random, and it wasn't a mood. It was the result of a selection process. One your cat ran on you, quietly, long before you ever noticed it was happening. And the criteria she used had almost nothing to do with what you think. Let's start with the obvious theory, because it's the one everyone reaches for first. The cat bonds to whoever feeds them. Whoever controls the food bowl wins the loyalty. It makes sense. Animals follow resources. That's basic animal behavior. But here's the problem. Animal psychologists who have studied domestic cat preferences consistently find that feeding is not the determining factor. Cats don't primarily attach to the person who fills the bowl. They attach to the person who plays with them and talks to them, the person who creates an emotional interaction, not just a transactional one. The provider gets respect. The playmate gets chosen. So if it's not food, what is your cat actually measuring? Here's where it gets really interesting. Researchers at Oregon State University ran a study that placed cats in an unfamiliar room with their owner for 2 minutes. Then the owner left. The cat was alone, a mild stressor, enough to activate their attachment system. When the owner returned, the researchers watched what happened next. 65% of cats immediately went to their owner, made contact, and then went back to exploring the room. That specific pattern, seek comfort, then feel safe enough to explore, is called secure attachment. It's the exact same behavior framework used to study bonding in human infants. Lead researcher Kristen Vitale described it plainly. These cats were using their owner as a source of security in an unfamiliar place. Not food, not warmth, security. Your cat didn't pick you because you're convenient. She picked you because around you, she feels safe enough to be herself.
But here's a question almost nobody thinks to ask. How does a cat decide who feels safe in the first place? What is she actually reading before she makes that choice? The answer starts with your voice. Researchers at the University of Tokyo found in 2013 that cats can distinguish their owner's voice from a stranger's voice with near-perfect accuracy, even when the words spoken are identical. They recognize the specific acoustic signature of the person they've bonded to. They've cataloged your sound. And it goes further than that. Cats are also reading your movement patterns, your response consistency, how quickly you react when they vocalize, whether your behavior is predictable. John Bradshaw, director of the Anthrozoology Institute in Bristol, spent over 30 years studying domesticated animal behavior and concluded that what cats are fundamentally seeking is someone who registers as non-threatening and consistent. The favorite human isn't the one who tries the hardest, it's the one who feels the most like a safe constant. Now I want to tell you about a study that nobody talks about because the findings seem strange at first. Researchers measured cortisol levels in cats during separation from different household members. Cortisol is the primary stress hormone. It spikes when something important is disrupted. What they found was that cortisol spiked highest when cats were separated from their favorite person, not just any family member. That sounds backwards. If the bond is healthy, why more stress? Because the disruption was bigger. The favorite human had become so central to the cat's felt sense of safety that their absence registered as a genuine loss of equilibrium. The cats who showed the highest cortisol response during separation also showed the fastest return to calm when reunited. That's not a fragile bond, that's a deep one with a biological signature.
There's one last thing I need to tell you, and it might be the most important part of this video. If your cat has always chosen you,
always crosses the room to reach you, always settles faster in your lap, and then one day she stops. Pay attention. Cats who begin withdrawing from their chosen person, who stop seeking contact or flinch where they never flinched before, are often in pain. Joint inflammation, dental disease, early organ decline. Cats are instinctive illness concealers, but they can't always conceal the shift in where they seek comfort. That behavioral change is frequently the first signal something is physically wrong. Your cat doesn't have language. Behavior is the only way she can tell you something has changed. So the next time your cat walks past everyone else in the room and comes directly to you, remember what's actually happening. She ran a quiet, thorough assessment. She measured your voice, your consistency, your stillness. She determined that you were the safest place in her world. And then she chose you. Not the person who feeds her, not the person who's been there longest. You. That's not a personality quirk. That's one of the most complex expressions of trust that a solitary animal ever evolved the capacity to give, and she gave it to you. If this changed how you see your cat, subscribe and leave a comment below. I want to know, who did your cat choose, and does it surprise you? Next time, we're looking at why cats bring you dead animals, and the answer has nothing to do with hunting.